Jordan, it's Scott Bordeaux from The Athletic. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Scott?
Good. Hey, just a question. You had a breakout year, obviously, for Buffalo last season. What changed from your days in Miami to kind of your play last year?
Nothing really changed for me. I just had more of an opportunity. A lot of people think it was some miracle or I was playing for a contract and etc. But I just had more of an opportunity. It was my first time in my career being on the third down group. I had a lot of opportunities to get more sacks and just be more productive. Um, Buffalo did a real good job of utilizing my talents, and they reaped the benefits of it last year.
Hey Jordan, it's Josh Weinfuss with ESPN. How are you?
I'm
Quick
good. How are you?
question. Good, thanks. How many teams were interested, and what kind of attracted you to the Cardinals, and what made you sign here?
I had about four teams, and Arizona was somewhere that I knew if it didn't work out with Buffalo, that Arizona would be a place to be. They're a young talented team, kind of how Buffalo was a couple years ago. They have a young quarterback, rising star, and also Chandler Jones was a big part of it as well. I wanted an elite pass rusher next to me so we could try and cause some havoc. Also, Vance Joseph had him in Miami, um, and Coach Buck was another big part that I really wanted to play for him. I've heard great things about him, so those were really my two or three biggest things.
Jordan, this is Darren Urban from azcardinals.com. I'm curious, with everything that's going on in the world, and normally you'd probably be in a position where you'd be ramping up to kind of come back later this month. How are you kind of handling that part of it, and trying to train or do whatever you can on your own?
I mean, first off, this is tough time. I just had a baby girl 8 days ago, so trying to have a newborn and everything that's going on with that. That's my first priority, is making sure she's safe, making sure my fiance is safe, and so it's kind of a hectic time. I'm not going to say my training's taking a back seat to that, but that's not the important thing right now. Is just making sure my family's safe and everything like that.
Along those lines, Jordan, this is Howard Balzer from SI.com. What was it in terms of the birth with the hospital and all that's going on and all those things? Was it hard to be around? Were they allow you to be around? What was that experience like?
They just kind of checked your temperature and make sure you didn't have any symptoms before you came in. But it could only be my fiance and either my mom or her mom in the room, but just one at a time. So it was a little different. And the I guess the hardest thing it's been so far is everybody wants to meet the baby, but we have to do it through the window. So they just come over to the house and we put Maya up to the window, and that's just kind of the weirdest thing. So, and even at the hospital, nobody could be in the room. It was just me when she was delivered, and I had to hold Maya up to the window for everybody to see. And that was just you know, I feel for my fiance because she couldn't have the traditional mom sisters in the room when she had the baby. So that was the most difficult part, I think, just not having the people and more support in there with us when we had her.
Jordan, what's your daughter's
Where are
name?
you now?
One more time.
What's your daughter's name?
Maya V. Phillips, MVP.
And where are you? Where are you?
Wichita, Kansas.
Jordan, you're wearing a shirt that says bowling on it. Are you a bowler, or you just like the shirt?
No, I'm actually motive bowling. I'm a staffer out there. So I was at a couple years ago. I really got into bowling, and this off season, they actually picked me up on the roster. I guess I don't really know how to say it. I'm not into the bowling terms. I'm just a good bowler. So yeah, The short answer, yes, I'm into bowling.
How good of a bowler are you?
I average about 220, 225. So it's not bad.
What's
So
your
you
best
were
game?
back, but I heard you had a 299 game.
Yes. And I haven't been close since. I've been getting into the 280s, 270s, but I haven't been able to get that 300 game yet. So after all this is said and done with the corona and everything, hopefully I can get back into the alley and keep working on my game a little bit.
What's the football equivalent of a 300 game?
Probably for me like a 3-sack game, somewhere like that, just something that doesn't happen often, but when it happens, everybody goes crazy.
Jordan, you mentioned Chandler Jones. What specifically does that kind of talent and edge rusher do for an interior defensive lineman?
I mean, selfishly, it's going to take double teams away from me and help me get free. Also, it's just when you have somebody like that that's averaged, I think, over 15 sacks for the last few years, is you don't seem like a concern, I guess. So all focus on him, and I just get to do my thing, but also get to open up lanes for him so he can go do his thing, and hopefully we can be a dynamic tandem.
Hey, Jordan, this is Kyle Odegaard, azcardinals.com. I'm wondering, when your tenure ended in Miami, what were you thinking at that point? And did you think this breakout season that you just had was still going to happen? Were you worried at all about that point in your career?
Everybody from the Miami days, I feel like they have a bad connotation just from that, just because it was skewed in the media and nobody really knew what happened. And I had, just to get it out there, I had asked for my release. It wasn't anything, and there was a lot of reports about the sideline outburst and everything like that, and it just wasn't true. We had came to the Dolphins before training camp and asked for a release or a trade, and finally after that game, they just felt like it was time. And so for me personally, I thought that was the jump start to my career. I felt like fresh start, new team, new faces, new opportunities. That was the it helped my career the most, was leaving there.
You mentioned Vance Joseph. Did you like the kind of system you ran in Miami? You think it would suit you here?
Yes, it's the same kind of attack front that I've been playing. It's going to be a little different playing in a 3-4. Not really sure where I'm going to play yet, but like I said, it's the same kind of attack front. You're doing the same things. They're getting after the person in front of them, and they're rushing the passer, and those are the things I do well. So.
Hey, Jordan. This is Catherine from the Republic. How much of Kyler did you watch while he was in college? I know you won't be playing with him, but did you follow him much there?
Oh yeah, I'm Oklahoma guy, so I watch them every Saturday. And I was a big fan. I like the way he moves around the pocket. I like the way it looks like he commands the offense. What else? And he's a winner. He's a leader. And you don't have the type of resume you have and not have those tangible things. So he's definitely somebody that even from the outside in, so far, I can tell he's going to do what he needs to do to get everything going the way it needs to go.
Hey, Jordan, Mark McClune from 3TV CBS 5. You mentioned the new baby. Congratulations on what that process was like. I'm just curious, how much has just the initial couple days of fatherhood changed you?
Well, I have a son, a 3-year-old Malik, and but this baby girl has hit me a little bit different. She's a sweetheart, and it's just more about, for me, like I said, just trying to right now keep her safe, trying to do the right things with the social distancing and everything like that. So it's more of a worrisome time than anything.
Jordan, this is Charlie Lapastora with Fox 10 Sports. First of all, welcome to Arizona. glad to have you here, and congratulations to you and your fiance on your newborn. And I'm just wondering, this coronavirus time has affected us all in a certain way. Has this put things maybe in perspective to you? I mean, coming to Arizona, you would, have a system in place and get a physical and the normal free agency, right? And then this has kind of changed all that. Has it kind of put it all in perspective in a way for you?
I'm not for sure what the question is there. Sorry.
Just anything you might have learned from this whole process, especially with this coronavirus, and has it changed anything for you?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely changed a lot just from you don't realize what you're doing and how it can affect people, and just not leaving the house and doing everything that you need to do in that aspect. But we don't really do much now, so it's just staying in the house. I mean, I go golf. That's about as extended as it gets. But out there, we try to stay in same carts, and we stay our 6 feet apart from each other. And that's the only difference for us really, is because we were staying in the house anyways with the baby.
And then one more, what's your goals coming to Arizona?
What are my goals? Mainly just to show everybody that it wasn't a 1-year thing. I was made for this. I was built for this. And just to let everybody in Arizona know that they got the real deal, and the defense is going to get back to where it needs to be.
Jordan, the Cardinals, I think it's every October, do a team fundraiser where all the players all go bowling. At what point do you start to trash talk your new teammates?
Oh, well, I had to build some friendships first before I really let them have it. But I'm not worried about anybody on the bowling alley, that's for sure. Now there's good golfers. If we were golfing, I'd be quiet because I'm not quite there yet. But bowling, whenever anybody's ready, we can go.
Yeah, you mentioned Chandler, Jordan, and other guys on the team. Of course, Patrick on defense. I don't know if you heard that he and Chandler plus Larry Fitzgerald were named to the NFL All-Decade team today.
Yes,
go ahead. I'm just curious how this coming to a team that has those type of players and certainly the veteran leadership.
Well, I mean, the pedigree on the Cardinals is unmatched. They have Larry, Chandler, and Pat P, and those are 3 of the best to ever do it. You know what I mean? And I've played with great vets. I've played with Ndamukong Suh, Cam Wake. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm just drawing a blank for some reason right now. And having those type of guys in the locker room and leadership, like you said, it's unmatched. You can have the young guys come in and their play speaks for itself. Sometimes it's hard for younger players to come in and try to be vocal. But when you have those I'm gonna say it, legendary players in the locker room, that takes it a whole different level, because not only are they speaking it, you get to watch it throughout the week, and then you get to watch it on Sundays, and that is the most powerful message. And you just don't want to let those guys down. And if you're talked about around those guys, you want to be you want people to try and put you in the same category as them. So it's a different type of power that they have being in that locker room.
I'm sure you're aware of the Bills are on the schedule. What also did you learn from Sean McDermott?
Sean's a great coach. He's a simple guy. He believes in simple things, and that's just working and outworking people. And coming from the Bills, the biggest thing for me was that they instilled in me was my practice habits, and how it actually you actually have to work and do your traits and everything, just the small details that magnify on Sunday. And if I could take anything from there, that's going to be it, is how to work and practice.